My Gill, by the numbers. I'm going to prove to you the corruption not only through the AG's office that are protecting all these departments in the state, but quite literally an AG operation of judges in this state that protect the drug dealers and the criminality in this state, right? I'm going to prove that to you by the numbers. Just before I do, and it's important because on Thursday we got a hearing, with the drug dealers in Concord at 1:30. They're going to try to shut down this site. They're going to try to shut down me talking to you. We are too close. And when I show you what I have, you're going to know we're close. And I'm going to tell you what happened to me Friday night. Friday night, my son Michael called me to go to the movies. I haven't been out in a year. Not at night. And not being armed. Wherever I go. The movies were Methuen. They got me coming home. I went past a pickup truck, black pickup truck, stopped in front of me at a stop sign. He wouldn't move, so I just went around him. I see a police car turn his lights on, and I move forwards. That police car gets behind me, that truck runs in front of me, comes inches from my door, and moves me right into a snowbanking. That same son of a bitch, while the officer, Salem cop, stayed in the car, went to my window and threatened that the next time would be my last time. Now, isn't that true, Salem cops? I offered to kick his ass, but they were only sending a message. Let me explain the rest. Okay, I'm going to put a little post. Charlotte Thompson, Iserbit, right? She's only the senior advisor of education in the United States. X, right? She wrote the book, Dumbing Down of America. She's making a plea for the people across this country, President Trump, AG Sessions, to come forward and stand up with state of corruption. She is saying state of corruption is spearheading this nationally, right from New Hampshire. You see the impact we're having? Not only that, we're going to post this with Anonymous.
Greetings world. We are Anonymous. Our exposure today now leads us to the government retaliation that has been ongoing with the state of corruption in New Hampshire and Mike Gill's. False charges, bugging of offices, informants and attempted murders, directed by government officials in very high power. The fake media outlets do not report the truth nor protect the citizens from government harm due to fear of retaliation. Mike Gill has exposed drug cartel ties to Lee County, Florida Sheriff Mike Scott and the 20th Circuit Courts of Florida. Controlled by federal sources to allow the borders to be secured by many entities being paid off.
Anonymous has 26 million people watching. And we're going to put a list of all of it goes to, like the national security. Right, FBI, you're going to get to see it. What I'm telling you is no secret, and they know. All right? So let's go on now by the numbers. All right? How many of you know if you type in El Chapo in New Hampshire, you're going to get pages of information. Do you know why? El Chapo tried to get moved here. That's right. You know where to be prosecuted? Bedford, New Hampshire. Ground fucking zero. Dick Aganos, Griner, and Cruz all live in Bedford, New Hampshire. Now, just to give you an idea, you know how many cities and towns in the United States there are? I'll tell you. 19,354. Aganos and Cruz, Griner live in Bedford. El Chapo wants to get moved to the DEA in Bedford. Holy shit, that's 1 in 19,000. Wow. Are we feeling lucky? Maybe you remember John Delaner. I dropped the package off on him. We're going to post that video. And do you remember what happened? Right after that, we got a tractor trail of fentanyl. Or the cover. Oh, it's really fentanyl. But it's the tip of the iceberg. It's the pretty girl in the Magic Act. Right. All right. Now, do you know how many square miles in the United States are there? 3,797,000 1,000. Do you know that DEA office in El Chapo would be 1 mile from Aganos? Right. Now, we've had experience dealing with the Sonora cartel. Did you know we prosecuted El Chapo's cousin in New Hampshire? Right. And his buddy Velasquez. Manuel Guzman. Jesus Emmanuel Guzman. Right, they were only going to distribute, let me see, cartels representatives offering to deliver thousands of kilograms of cocaine. Why? By cargo vessels. And they get prosecuted in New Hampshire. Now, how the fuck did that happen? Why New Hampshire? I'll tell you, because we're crooked as hell. Now, who is the prosecutor? Kakavis. Of the drug dealers? Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Now, who represented him? Judge Ruoff. Judge Ruoff from the AG's office? That's right. You're going to hear a lot about how the AG's office covers the corruption in this state. Not only the departments, but the courts. That's what I missed. But I got it now. Now, don't I, Ruoff? So Ruoff defended the drug dealers. No shit, said they were innocent. That was your former assistant AG, who was partners with Mark Howard, the other assistant AG, who's also on one of my cases. You got it? Howard and Kakavis were the prosecuting the defense team of FRM. Sound familiar? Remember, if you're going to commit corruption, you better be playing catch with your best friend. And that's what they did, and that was Howard. And now when Kakavis prosecutes the drug dealers, you know, the Sonora fucking cartel, that's who's supplying the largest ground zero drug problem in this country, New Hampshire. It's the largest fucking drug dealers. Aganos and this asshole's been partnered for 30, 40 fucking years. See? And they both build a fucking empire. And they own your newspapers. And they own your AG's office. So now Ruoff defended the drug dealers. They got 16 years. Did I tell you how many thousands? They're out in 8. That's the deal of the fucking century. And that's why El Chapo picked the destination that he wanted to go to is Bedford, New Hampshire. Because the best deal this guy was going to get, probably escaping, was right here in Bedford. And listen, did you see the federal prison this guy dug his ass out of? Right. I was running around Bedford screaming for help. And I got some midget to come out. That was it. See? They're protecting these people. Because El Chapo's talking, now aren't you, El Chapo? He's in a federal prison in New York. I'll bet you not many of you knew that. Right, and he's singing, isn't it? Well, that might explain why Dick Aganos was going to build that big-ass hotel, remember? In Manchester? Spend all that money? They're going to build it on contaminated ground, but you can do that if you own everybody. He canceled the whole thing. You planning a trip? Let's keep going. How's that? By the numbers. So, let's take a look at how they're going to blow us up. So now that we know it is the Mexican cartel that's driving the heroin business in this state. We've already prosecuted the cousin. El Chapo wants to come here. Now, how do they get away with it? And how are they going to shut me up? Now let's think about this. I was in court with Delker. Delker is from the AG's office. Rosenberg, the general partner at Shaheen and Gordon, those criminal bastards, from the AG's office, they were partners. Now, Tim McLaughlin, the representing of Shaheen and Gordon, daddy is Phil McLaughlin, who is the AG, and these assholes work for him. So we've got Howard from the AG covering. We got Ruoff, who was working with Walker against me, covering. Delker covering. Rosenberg covering. And now I got a set-up hearing on Thursday to shut down the sign, shut down all the information on this. See? And Tucker's from the AG's office. That's how they control the courts and the criminality of these courts. Do you think that this is... How could this be possible otherwise? Right? There is no legitimate reason. Do I have to remind you how many millions of 3.797 million square miles, and they dropped this asshole El Chapo on top of Aganos' house. Now listen, this is some dangerous shit. But we are at that moment. We can beat them, and they are folding. And what I'm exposing to you is so obvious, and because it's the level of their desperation. Now I have court, 9:30 on Brentwood with Anderson. Anderson, that piece of shit, isn't from the AGs. You know why? He's taped the cases from Richard Head, who was from the AG. The same guy, remember? Dick Head that's off into California. You know why he's in California? Those were incriminations, the DRA and the IRS. They have to shut down State of Corruption and Mortgage Specialists because I'm funding this attack. See? So take his money, that's Anderson, and Tucker, keep him quiet. Shut down No Signs, shut down State of Corruption. So here I am reaching out to you guys now. You see the comments, you see we're getting videos of over 2 million views. And we're getting watched from all over the country. And what I do here for New Hampshire is a model for what we're going to do across this country. I gave President Trump the information that I wanted to do. They asked me the job I wanted. I want to work for nothing. It's going to be my fucking pleasure to put these assholes in jail. And I'm going to negotiate deals. That's right. We're going to put these guys in jail faster than you can imagine because they're all going to be looking for a deal. In fact, I believe they're looking for a deal now. Mike Gill, State of Corruption.